Ladies and gentlemen, imagine opening a restaurant where every customer pays you $200, but serving that customer actually costs you more than $200. The more customers you attract, the more money you lose. Sounds ridiculous, right? Well, that is exactly the paradox OpenAI has been facing. According to multiple industry estimates, OpenAI's revenue has skyrocketed over the past year. Yet the company is still believed to be spending billions more than it earns on AI infrastructure, research, and operations. Even CEO Sam Altman has publicly acknowledged that serving advanced AI models is extremely expensive and that some premium ChatGPT users have historically cost the company more than they paid. Now think about what that means. In almost every business, your best customers are also your most profitable customers. But in artificial intelligence, your most active users can become your most expensive users, because every prompt they send requires enormous computing power. And that is exactly why many investors have been asking a simple but uncomfortable question. If the world's biggest AI company can't consistently make money, how will everyone else? This debate has divided Wall Street. Some investors believe AI is experiencing a bubble similar to the dot-com era. Others believe we are simply witnessing the early years of the next industrial revolution. But here is what is interesting. While everyone was busy talking about OpenAI's massive spending, the company quietly changed its strategy. Instead of focusing only on building smarter AI, OpenAI is now trying to make AI cheaper, faster, and far more useful for businesses. It has introduced new GPT 5.6 models, expanded Codex into a more capable AI software engineering platform, launched ChatGPT Work to bring everyday productivity into one AI-powered workspace, and has reportedly been investing heavily in custom AI chips to reduce long-term operating costs. Suddenly, the conversation is changing. Maybe OpenAI isn't just trying to build the smartest AI anymore. Maybe it's trying to build the first AI company that can scale profitably. So today we are going to answer three important questions. Why is OpenAI burning so much money? Why are investors still pouring billions into AI? And could these new moves finally transform OpenAI into one of the most profitable technology companies in history? Let's dive in. People often think AI companies make money the same way software companies do. They don't. Think about Netflix. Netflix spends billions creating movies and TV shows. But once a movie is uploaded, millions of people can watch exactly the same file without Netflix creating a new movie every single time. Artificial intelligence works very differently. Every time you ask ChatGPT a question, generate an image, write code, summarize a report, or analyze a spreadsheet, the system creates an entirely new response specifically for you. That process is called AI inference, and inference is incredibly expensive. Every single request consumes advanced AI processors, electricity, memory, networking equipment, storage systems, and massive cooling infrastructure inside data centers. Now multiply that by hundreds of millions of conversations happening every single day. Suddenly, you understand why AI companies spend billions of dollars every year just to keep their services running. The smarter the model becomes, the more computing power it usually requires. And that is where the real business challenge begins. Normally, when companies gain more customers, profits also increase. In AI, that is not always true. More users often mean more servers, more GPUs, higher electricity bills, larger data centers, and billions of dollars in additional infrastructure spending. That is why companies like Microsoft, Google, Meta, Amazon, Anthropic, XAI, and OpenAI continue investing enormous amounts of money into AI infrastructure. They are not simply competing to build smarter models. They are competing to build the future computing infrastructure of the world. So why aren't investors panicking? Because many believe they are funding infrastructure, not just products. Think back to Amazon. For years, Amazon barely made profits. Critics said the business model would never work. Instead of maximizing quarterly earnings, Jeff Bezos invested heavily in warehouses, logistics, cloud computing, and technology. Today, Amazon Web Services generates tens of billions of dollars in operating profit every year. Many investors believe artificial intelligence could follow a similar path. Today's losses may simply be the cost of building tomorrow's digital infrastructure. But for that to happen, AI must become dramatically cheaper. And that is exactly where OpenAI's recent strategy becomes interesting. The biggest battle in AI is no longer just about building the smartest model. It is about building the most efficient one. Imagine two AI models. Both answer your question equally well. One costs $1 to generate every response. The other costs just 10 cents. Which company wins? Exactly, the company with lower inference costs can lower prices, attract more customers, improve profits, and scale much faster. That is why OpenAI's latest announcements matter. The company's newest GPT 5.6 models aren't only designed to improve intelligence, they are also built to improve efficiency, allowing more useful work to be completed using fewer computing resources. That may sound like a technical improvement. In reality, it is a business improvement. Every reduction in computing cost directly improves profitability. OpenAI is also betting heavily on software development. AI coding assistants have become one of the fastest growing applications of artificial intelligence because developers use them every single day. Businesses don't just pay for conversations, they pay for productivity. If AI can help software engineers finish projects faster, reduce bugs, and automate repetitive work, companies are willing to pay premium subscription fees. That is why Codex has become such an important part of OpenAI's long-term strategy. But OpenAI isn't stopping there. It also wants ChatGPT to become your digital workplace. Instead of switching between emails, documents, coding platforms, spreadsheets, meeting notes, and research tools, users can increasingly perform all of those tasks inside a single AI-powered workspace. That is a completely different business model. Instead of selling access to a chatbot, OpenAI wants to become the operating system for knowledge work. And businesses happily pay for software that saves employees hours every single week. Perhaps the most important development, however, isn't software at all. It is hardware. For years, OpenAI has depended heavily on NVIDIA's powerful AI chips. Those processors are among the best in the world. They are also extremely expensive. That is why OpenAI has reportedly been investing in custom AI chips. If successful, these chips could reduce operating costs, improve efficiency, and decrease dependency on third-party hardware suppliers. We have already seen something similar happen at Apple. When Apple replaced Intel processors with its own M series chips, it gained better performance, improved battery life, lower power consumption, and greater control over its products. If OpenAI achieves something similar, the financial impact could be enormous. Lower costs, higher margins, greater independence, and a much stronger long-term business. Here is what many people still don't understand. The future of artificial intelligence won't be decided simply by who builds the smartest chatbot. It will be decided by who delivers intelligence at the lowest possible cost, Because once AI becomes dramatically cheaper, everything changes. Smaller businesses can afford it. Schools can afford it. Governments can afford it. Developers can build entirely new products. Consumers can use AI without worrying about expensive subscriptions. Cheaper intelligence doesn't just improve profits, it expands the entire market. So is artificial intelligence still a bubble? Maybe. History tells us that every revolutionary technology goes through periods of massive excitement, huge investments, unrealistic expectations, and intense skepticism. The internet did, cloud computing did, smartphones did. Artificial intelligence is probably no different. Some companies will fail. Some investments will never pay off. But one thing seems increasingly clear. The next phase of AI won't be won simply by building smarter models. It will be won by building cheaper intelligence. And if OpenAI succeeds in solving that equation, its biggest competitive advantage may not be ChatGPT itself. It may be the economics behind every single answer it generates. So what do you think? Is OpenAI laying the foundation for the next trillion-dollar technology company? Or are we witnessing the biggest AI bubble in history? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to @ManishSirG for more in-depth videos on artificial intelligence, business, technology and global affairs. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.